What? Am I lost at sea? Ah, well, it's better than where I was before. No!
After the release of A Link to the Past on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, the Zelda development team decided to work on a port for the Game Boy. But upon working on said port, it kind of grew into its own thing.
One could say the project awakened.
I have nothing better going on in my life, so please ignore my lame jokes. Truth is, I'm experiencing artist block right now, and this is literally the best I can come up with at the moment. Turns out in post it was not funny, and again, I'm very sorry from the bottom of my heart. My craft will be better next time, I swear. How can you trust me? Well, you really can't. You're just gonna have faith that I won't screw up again. For the time being, thank you.
With what was essentially the same team that worked on A Link to the Past, they eventually cracked down and created their own brand new game, Link's Awakening, which they then released on the Game Boy in 1993. The game was both a critical and commercial success. So much so that an updated version of the game was released in 1998 for the Game Boy Color, now featuring, you guessed it, full color! Alongside the Game Boy Color release, the game received an extra dungeon too, the Color Dungeon.
Sure would suck to be one of those losers who never played the color version. You wouldn't want to miss out on the Color Dungeon.
But that wasn't the last we saw of Link's Awakening, because in 2019 a full Link's Awakening remake would release on the Nintendo Switch.
Now, I never got a chance to play the original, so when I heard it was coming to the Nintendo Switch, I was more than excited. Traditional top-down Zelda games are my favorite Zelda games.
A Link Between Worlds is and always will be my favorite Zelda game, so getting the chance to play what was a new traditional Zelda to me was more than exciting. So today, I will be talking about the Nintendo Switch version specifically because that's the only one I sunk any real time into. The game opens with a stunning 2D animated cutscene of Link out on the sea during a fierce storm when suddenly lightning strikes and the screen falls dark, which is then followed up by Link on the shores of a mysterious island. Right off the bat, I gotta state the obvious, this game is gorgeous. Not only does it open with a beautiful cutscene, but the game is presented in a diorama-like setting to closely capture the Game Boy original. The aesthetic they're going for, in my opinion, really helps push the mysterious dream-like feeling they're trying to replicate. And that goes hand in hand with this game's excellent sound design. Each song and sound effect are some of the best suited for its material I think I've ever heard. Some even mix in some classic Game Boy sounds to keep it feeling like the original, too. Link's Awakening takes place on Koholint Island, an island isolated in the middle of the ocean. While it's rather small, it's packed full of secrets and dungeons. It's your goal to collect the 8 instruments to make your way up the mountain and wake the WindFish. Once all 8 instruments have been collected, you fight the final evil, and then the WindFish wakes up and informs you the whole thing was its dream. And since it woke up, everything around Link starts to disappear.
No!
Honestly, it's a bittersweet story. While it's a super fun adventure, watching everyone you met along the way bite the dust is kinda sad. Especially when Marin, one of the best Zelda characters, vanishes forever. Well, I guess she's playable in Hyrule Warriors, but that doesn't count. As usual, the dungeons do a great job at teaching the player new mechanics while also throwing in some neat puzzles. These dungeons do tend to feel a little shorter than most Zelda games. Well, as a whole, the whole game feels much shorter, and that's because it is. But I don't know, I think it works better like this. Not all Zelda games need to be a 15+ hour experience. It's nice to see a good 5-hour game pop its way in. And the way Koholint Island is set up, it definitely works as a shorter game. It doesn't overstay its welcome, and you always feel like you're progressing, which is hard to do in a game. But on that note, due to its shorter nature, it does make the game much more replayable. But because it's a short game and originally a Game Boy release, it's really hard to justify that $60 price point. Personally, I like this game a lot. But $60 is a tough price for a Game Boy title. Either way though, just looking at it, you can tell it's a huge improvement from its 1993 and 98 versions. Not to say those are bad because they aren't, but if you're gonna remake a game, this one should be the golden standard. While from what I've played of the original, everything carries over super well. Now just with updated controls, gameplay, music, and visuals. And while all that's great, the Switch does tend to stutter a lot with this one. Since you'll be traveling up and down Koholint Island, you're constantly loading in new things, which brings out the worst in the Nintendo Switch. The frame rate will drop pretty often, not for long, but long enough to mention. Now when it comes to Zelda games, I am not the brightest bulb in the shed. And I don't know if it was just me or anyone else, but did the stupid trading quest piss anyone off? I don't like to read because I'm a loser, so maybe I was just making it hard on myself, but I personally could have done without the trading journey. The game also features a dungeon builder, kind of. I mean, it's alright. All it lets you do is use tiles from previous dungeons to put together your own mini challenges. And I'm pretty sure you can save them to Amiibo too, but don't quote me on that. I didn't spend too much time there. Link's Awakening is the best option if you're looking for a pick-up and play Zelda. The game's aesthetic is nailed on the Nintendo Switch and it gives off a feeling like no other. Koholint Island is a charming little adventure filled with mystery, puzzles, frame rate drops, and charm. Even with the $60 price point, if you haven't played the Switch version, I would highly recommend it. It's definitely one of the best traditional top-down Zelda games, and one of the best games on the Nintendo Switch.
I love Link's Awakening, and I'm glad to see that Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom kept the art style. Wait, what? Wait, am I fading away? Are you dreaming me? No, I have so much left to say. So much to do, so much to...